Hello everyone, myself Sneha Shah from Edge Institute of Engineering and Technology from the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering. Today I am going to explain you some more properties of continuous time Fourier transform from the subject of signal and systems from the third unit, which one is Introduction to Fourier series and Fourier transform. Up to last session, I had explained you 7 different properties of the continuous time Fourier transform. Now the 8th property is differentiation in the time domain. Suppose if we are taking input signal x in the time domain as x of t, then if we want to do the differentiation of that, then what will be the Fourier of it? It means what will be the corresponding response in the frequency domain. So for that, first of all, if we are writing this statement, so for that, first of all, we are taking the input signal as x of t and we are finding the Fourier transform of it, then it will representing as x of f, right? Now we have to do the differentiation of the signal in the time domain. Means the signal is x of t, so if you want to do the differentiation, so x is a function of time t, so we have to do the differentiation with respect to t. So d by dt x of t will representing as differentiation in time domain, and if we are taking the Fourier transform of it, then corresponding to that in the frequency domain it will representing as x of f multiplied by j 2 pi f. So this one is a statement for this property. Now if we want to prove this property, so in the proof, first of all we have to take inverse Fourier transform. Why? Because we have to do the differentiation of x of t, right? Now from where we will taking the x of t? If we are knowing the value of x of f, then by taking inverse Fourier transform we can find the value of x of t. So for that we have to take inverse Fourier transform, right? So first of all, if we are writing the equation of inverse Fourier transform, then its equation will be x of t equals to integration over minus infinite to infinite, means for whole range x of f into e raised to j 2 pi f df. Now from this equation we can find the value of x of t, then we have to take the differentiation of it to find out this property, right? So we are taking the differentiation of this equation on both the sides. So if we are taking the differentiation on both the sides, so the term will be d by dt x of t equals to d by dt into this. It means d by dt integration minus infinite to infinite x of f e raised to j 2 pi f t df. Now here we will apply one rule. If there will be two integration, differentiation, two differentiation, summation integration or summation, then we have to change the order of it. So here, as you know that the term will be d by dt and integration, means we are taking two different operations, differentiation and integration. So we will changing the order of it. Differentiation is with respect to time t and the integration is with respect to frequency f. So if we are changing the order of this, differentiation is first, so we have to take it second, and the integration is second, so we have to take it as first. So if we are interchanging the order of that, then the next step is d by dt x of t equals to integration minus infinite to infinite x of f d by dt e raised to j 2 pi f t df. Now in this term you can see that x of f is a function of f, df is also f, only the term e raised to j 2 pi f t will contain the term t, right? So we are differentiating e raised to j 2 pi f t with respect to time t. So the term will be like this, d by dt e raised to j 2 pi f t. Now if we are differentiating this, then it will gives you the term as j 2 pi f into e raised to j 2 pi f t, right? So this one is the differentiation of this term. So the next step is integration over minus infinite to infinite x of f into j 2 pi f e raised to j 2 pi f t into df. If we are considering this term as integration minus infinite to infinite x of f into j 2 pi f into e raised to j 2 pi f t df, so we are considering it as the term as j 2 pi f into x of f, right? So when we'll taking Fourier transform of d by dt x of t, then it will gives you the term as x of f into j 2 pi f. So this way we can prove the differentiation property. Now the next property is integration in the time domain. So if we want to integrate the signal in the time domain, so for that what will be the statement? If we are taking input signal as x of t and will finding the Fourier transform of it, then it will representing as x of f, right? Now we have to take the integration of input signal. Now suppose if I am taking the integration x of t with respect to time t, so it will representing as integration minus infinite to infinite x of t dt, right? So it will consider as area of the input signal x of t, right? But it will not consider as integration. So suppose if we want to integrate that signal, then for that we have to take some dummy variable and we will not taking the entire region, means from minus infinite to infinite, because if we are taking the entire region, then it will consider as area of that particular signal. So in taking some of the portion of it up to one point, we will taking the integration. Okay. So it will representing as integration minus infinite to t x of lambda d lambda, and if we finding the Fourier transform of that, then it will representing as x of f divided by j 2 pi f. You have to remember this thing, like if we are differentiating the input signal, then we have to multiply x of f with j 2 pi f factor. And if we are integrating the input signal, then we have to divide the x of f with the help of factor j 2 pi f. It will be the inverse of the differentiation, right? So now if we are proving this property in the proof, suppose if I am taking integration differentiation, so it will nullify the term. So it will give you the original signal x of t, right? So if I am writing the equation x of t, then it will consider as d by dt integration minus infinite to t x of lambda d lambda. It means integration differentiation will be cancelled out and it will give you the input signal x of t. Now in this equation, we will taking the Fourier transform on the both the side. So if I am taking the Fourier transform of x of t, it will be representing as x of f, and this term will representing as Fourier transform of d by dt integration minus infinite to t x of lambda d lambda. All the other term I have written as it is, just we are taking Fourier transform of it. Now, if we are considering the Fourier transform of d by dt, now what is the meaning of this? Fourier transform of differentiation. So as we have taken in the last property, if we are taking the differentiation and will finding the Fourier transform, then it will multiply by j 2 pi f factor, right? So it will representing as j 2 pi f into Fourier transform of this term. So we have applied the Fourier transform to both the term. First one is differentiation, so it will give you the term as j 2 pi f, and also we have applied Fourier transform to the second term, so it will give you this term, right? Now from this, if we are finding Fourier transform of this term, so j 2 pi f goes on the left hand side. So it will give you that Fourier transform of integration minus infinite to t x of lambda d lambda equals to x of f divided by j 2 pi f. So this way we can find out Fourier transform of integration of any signal in the time domain. So corresponding to that, in the frequency domain, the signal will be x of f divided by this factor j 2 pi f. Now the next property is multiplication in the time domain. It is also considered as multiplication theorem. So this question can be also asked like this: explain the multiplication theorem. Now what is multiplication theorem? Suppose if we are doing multiplication of any two signal in the time domain, then corresponding to that, what will be in the frequency domain? Suppose if we are taking the multiplication in time domain, then in the frequency domain it will representing by convolution of that two particular signal. So statement of this will be considered like this: if we are taking x1 of t and x2 of t and we are finding the Fourier transform of this two, then it will representing as x1 of f and x2 of f. Now we have to take multiplication in the time domain. So if we are multiplying these two signals x1 of t and x2 of t, Then corresponding to that in the frequency domain, it will representing as x1 of f convolve with x2 of f. Now what is the equation of convolution? Integration over the entire region means minus infinite to infinite. x1 of first signal is with the dummy variable, the second signal is folded, shifted, then we have multiplied, and at last we have taken the integration with respect to dummy variable term, right? So basically, if we are doing the multiplication in the time domain, so corresponding to that in the frequency domain, it will representing as convolution of that particular two signals Fourier transform. Now, if you want to prove this property, so in the proof we will starting with the equation of Fourier transform. Now, first of all, what is the equation of Fourier transform? Fourier transform of x of t will representing as x of f and its value equals to integration over minus infinite to infinite x of t e raised to minus j 2 pi f t dt. Right? Now, instead of this x of t, we have to find the Fourier transform of this term. It means if you want to find out Fourier transform of x1 of t into x2 of t, so instead of this x of t, I will write x1 of t into x2 of t. So the term will be like this, integration over minus infinite to infinite x1 of t into x2 of t into e raised to minus j 2 pi f t dt. Now in this equation, either we have to find the value of x1 of t or we have to find out the value of x2 of t. And then we will putting that value over here, and after simplification it will give you the final answer like this. So if we are finding the value of x1 of t or x2 of t, it will find by using inverse Fourier transform, right? Why? Because if we want to find out x of t, it will find from the term of x of f by taking inverse Fourier transform. If we are finding inverse Fourier transform of x2 of f, then it will gives you the term as x2 of t, right? So it will representing as x2 of t equals to integration minus infinite to infinite x2 of f dash e raised to j 2 pi f dash t into df dash. Here instead of f we have taken f dash, because if I am taking f, then this factor and this factor will be cancelled out. So it will not gives you the perfect answer. So here we have taken the dummy variable f dash. Now we are putting this value of x2 of t over here. So the next step is Fourier transform of x1 of t into x2 of t equals to integration minus infinite to infinite x1 of t. This term will representing as x2 of t, right? So it will representing as minus infinite integration over minus infinite to infinite x2 of f dash e raised to j 2 pi f dash t df dash into e raised to minus j 2 pi f t dt. Now we have to change the order. As I told you that if there will be two integrations, so we will changing the order. Now the next step is integration minus infinite to infinite x1 of t as it is integration minus infinite to infinite x2 of f dash into this two term will be merged by taking e raised to minus j 2 pi t part as a common. E raised to minus j 2 pi f minus f dash t df dash into dt. Now instead of this f minus f dash, we have to take any dummy variable like tau. If I am finding the value of this term, then it will representing as integration over minus infinite to infinite x1 of t integration minus infinite to infinite. This term will be representing as x2 of f minus tau. Because from this equation, if I am finding the value of f dash, so it will representing as f minus tau, right? Now this term will representing as e raised to minus j 2 pi tau into t, and df dash will convert in the form of dt. And df dash will convert in the form of d tau, and this dt will remain as it is. So if we are simplifying that term, then the term will be representing as Fourier transform of x1 of t into x2 of t equals to integration minus infinite to infinite x1 of t integration minus infinite to infinite x2 of f minus tau e raised to minus j 2 pi tau t d tau dt. Now if we reordering this, then this term will comes over here and this term comes over here. So the term will be like this, integration minus infinite to infinite x2 of f minus tau d tau, and this term will representing as integration minus infinite to infinite x1 of t e raised to minus j 2 tau into t into dt. Now from this term you can say that this one is the Fourier transform of x1 of t. But instead of f we have taken tau, so this will be representing as capital X1 of tau, right? So the next step is integration minus infinite to infinite x2 of f minus tau d tau, and this term will representing as x1 of tau. Now if I am rearranging this, then it will representing as integration minus infinite to infinite x1 of tau into x2 of f minus tau d tau. So this will be considered as convolution of x1 of f with x2 of f. So if we are taking multiplication of any two signal in the time domain, then corresponding to that in the frequency domain, it will representing as convolution of these two terms. So this way we can find any properties of Fourier transform, and we can prove that. In the next session, I will explain more property of the Fourier transform, and we will solving some examples based on that. Thank you so much.